Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv, and there's a lot going on as usual. So, what was the first thing I woke up to this morning? A huge drop continued from yesterday. Like, we hit a drop yesterday, right? And then we kind of just sustained at that level. It's cool. I'm not upset. Not angry at all. I actually reached out to a couple of my friends and was like, are you taking advantage of this dip? And they were like, oh, dude, I'm trying to scramble to get some more money to put it in there. Exactly. Because we took a big drop from 73,000 down to 66 and change. Yeah. It's almost a 10% drop, isn't it? All right, a lot of money. Will it happen again? Why did it happen? Let's get into why it happened. There were a few factors. You could kind of see it coming with the consumer price index in the United States. That was the first thing that happened. It's still a little too hot. And so, inflation is still here, big and strong. What was the second thing that happened? Second thing that happened is actually the producer price index in the United States. Why? Again, too hot, looking at everything that's going on, and you sit there and you kind of go, dang, we've got too much. So what that did is it sent a panic throughout the market, throughout the regular stock market, with economists saying, yeah, the chance of a June rate cut have diminished severely, right? And what that means is that we're going to continue with high interest rates from the federal government for a little while, right? So it's not going to happen in June. And I said that I don't expect rate cuts to happen. 3 rate cuts were supposed to happen this year, and they had earmarked June as the beginning. Well, I think it could be July now, maybe even August. And what would that do? Now, the response is going to be because of the economy. The timing is going to be perfect for the elections. It will be. Rate cuts will come, markets will pop up. The argument for a poor economy goes away. Why? Because the U.S. actually has one of the best economies in the world at this time. China's trying to act like their economy is good, but it's not. Russia, we already know they're hurting. Right? So you're looking at, one of the strongest economies in the world. High inflation, but not nearly as high as other countries around the world. Still, we woke up this morning, Asia hit the markets first, obviously, and Bitcoin has recovered from the 66s to the 67s for right now. Okay, cool. You want to know what else happened? Because that's not all. There's one more thing that happened. 2 days ago, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust dropped about $277 million in Bitcoin. Yesterday, they dropped 400. At the same time that El Salvador says that they have a $400 million Bitcoin piggy bank. Articles up on the website already. Had to say it. Is the same time that Grayscale says, yeah, we sold $400 million worth of Bitcoin. So 277, 400. Grayscale is hemorrhaging, which is why I told you the other day that Grayscale is looking to do a mini Bitcoin trust to try to stave off some of the outflows. How about you lower your prices? I know it sounds crazy, but if you lower those prices, maybe you'll get people to stay. That's just me. But those outflows are hurting in a big fashion. Grayscale is not the one that actually scares me. That can affect the market, right? But those 3 factors tanked Bitcoin. But I want you to think about where Bitcoin is. It's back where it was a few days ago. So is that a correction? I don't know that it's a correction as much as, we had some macro events that affected the price. And that price was affected, call it 10%, right? Call it 10%. When you look at that and you say, well, the price was affected 10%, PPI, CPI, Grayscale dropping. You want to know who actually scares me with Grayscale dropping? It's actually Digital Currency Group, because they hold a lot of GBTC. That's what scares me. It scares me the fact that, they're in a position, Barry Silbert's in a position where, they're in trouble. They're going to be hurting for money. And the first thing that they're going to turn to are things like GPTC, which is going to tank again if, they unleash, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of it. And it doesn't scare me, right? It bothers me. But when you think about it, well, this poor PPI, CPI caused people not to put in as much, right, into spot ETFs. That drove prices lower, blah, 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 puts a downward pressure, cleans off about $650 million, right? That's a lot. It's only for a short period of time. And we'll look at the numbers later, but I really do think it's only for a short period of time. And there are obvious reasons why, and we'll go over them again. But those are the factors that truly affected Bitcoin's price right now. Are those numbers going to go up? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have people like French Montana. French Montana just dropped a song using inscriptions. It's about 3 megabytes. That's a pretty hot promotion. Hat tip to Mr. Montana. That's pretty hot. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But you have different people using technology in different ways now, and it's starting to catch on. What truly needs to happen is, retail adoption, meaning I can walk to the corner store. Where I'm from is called a bodega. You walk into the bodega and you go, oh, let me have this. Let me have my bacon, egg, and cheese, right? Let me have my bacon, egg, and cheese and a regular coffee. Boom. It's a morning thing. And I can just go, boop, and I walk out. When I can do that, right? When I get my Cafe Bustelo, okay, I'm good. That's my morning, right? That's my morning. That's my shot in the arm in the morning. A bacon, egg, and cheese from the bodega, boy. I'm eating that on the train all the way down to work or to school. That's what I used to do when I was a kid. When I can walk in the door and I can pay with crypto, bam, and walk out. That's when it happens. That's when it happens. Bodegas like cash. Some stores are prone to cash. Guess what? That's like cash. It's just like cash. Anyway, what's up next? Something that really caught my attention. I had to write an article about it. Somebody asked me, and I forgot who. Please forgive me. I forgot who. Asked me to look into VeVe. VeVe is a NFT platform and metaverse. And the reason why I wasn't all that into it is because it's just an NFT platform and metaverse. It's a really cool one. And I'll tell you why in a second. But it's like asking me to review a store. You're not going to ask me to go review like Dick's Sporting Goods, right? That's what this is. It's a really cool one. And it just happens to have, subject matter that I'm really into, which is Marvel Comics. So you can but virtually walk into VeVe and be like, oh my God, there's Spider-Man. There are all these Marvel characters. And then you have the NFTs to back them up. So the licensing deals must have been flying. That's freaking awesome. So VeVe is a good platform. And guess what? Because of that person, there is an article on growmybag.tv all about it. Just because I think it's cool. I'm waiting for the one to show up for Disney that has, Star Wars on it, because I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'd love to see one for Star Trek, because I grew up on Star Trek. I used to have the whole set, everything. And then, I'm just looking at everything that's going on, and you're getting more and more. One more thing about VeVe. What I do like about VeVe is that it taps into that whole collectibles thing that everybody likes, right? So everybody at Comic-Con should be looking at VeVe. That there's an example. VeVe should be at Comic-Con, across the country, across the world, getting people more and more into it. That's going to be hot. That's going to be freaking hot. But to me, it's just like going to the store. It's hard to review a store. I'm not talking about VeVe. I'm talking about the subject matter. But it's really cool that they're bringing everything into the metaverse, and that's why the article's up. French Montana inscribes a song on Bitcoin. Freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. I think we should be paying attention to things like that because, again, it's another one of those things where it brings people in. That's the idea. It's when I say retail investor, it's me, you, the guy around the corner. It's regular people, not institutions. But if you start to get into what we're into, we're going to be more drawn in. So those are two projects that are drawn in. Something else that happened. El Salvador, a $400 million. Nobody thought that they had $400 million in Bitcoin. Guess what? The president was like, yeah, we have 400 million, in Bitcoin, and we just moved it to a secure location, a secure core wallet location. That's big. That is big. Remember when I kept telling you that people are going to use Bitcoin in different ways? Well, you right now have a country that's probably going to leverage its Bitcoin to get cash to do better for its people. Why else does he make the announcement? I'm telling you, that's what's going to come next. That's what's going to come next. He'll collateralize that 400 million Bitcoin, knowing that it's going to do nothing but go up. By the end of the year, are we at 80? Are we at 100? At 100? Yeah, possibly, because it's going to be mad hard to actually create Bitcoin. You can create $900 a day now, and it'll be down to 450 after the halving event, which means that demand is nowhere near demand is way higher than the actual supply. Supply is nowhere near where it needs to be to satisfy demand. Hence, price goes up. That's the way that works. So yeah, I'm deeply into it. And then you have Coinbase's chief legal officer going after a couple of senators. I'm not even going to bother to say the senator's name because I just think they're stupid. I'm just going to say it like that. And here's why I think they're stupid. They wrote a letter to Gary Gensler. You know how I feel about Gary Gensler. He's an idiot. He's not actually an idiot. He's actually very, very smart. I just don't trust him because he did a 180 on Bitcoin. Not going to get into that history. That's just a fact. But these two senators are saying, crypto is way too dangerous for the retail investor. Please do not approve any more spot ETFs, meaning the Ethereum spot ETFs. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, because they pointed out, the rug pulls and Ponzi schemes. And I'm like, that's not Ethereum. Did you people do your research? Do you know what you're talking about? Yes, there are rug pulls. That happens. That does happen. But is that Ethereum? No, it's not Ethereum. So I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Do your research before you open up your mouth. I know I don't know everything. I rely on friends, family, you guys to set me straight sometimes. Hey, I got this wrong. Hey, you got that right. Hey, I like what you're doing. I don't like what you're doing. Here's how you can improve. So I'm just and I want to make sure that I get these two people up, because I want to make note of what they told me. It's actually pretty funny. So when I look at these two senators, I'm kind of like, you're both idiots. Please shut the hell up. Go take a seat. Go take a seat. Now, if you'd have come out and you'd have said, well, we understand there could be certain spot ETFs that could be requested. What is your criteria for reviewing, for those spot ETFs? I mean, think about what's on the docket. You have Solana, obviously Ethereum, people talking about XRP, and people talking about SHIB. Those four. Ethereum is a commodity, as said by Gensler. Then there should be no delay. None whatsoever. But there is. Shouldn't be, but there is. Those senators, these are not Ethereum is not a rug pull. I'm trying to understand how that worked in your head. I can understand if this was going to be a Pepe or a Bonk or a dog with hat or some other meme coin. Not that those are rug pulls, don't get me wrong. But I'm saying I can understand if you were calling those out because they're relatively new to the space and you don't know, what their use case is, different things that are going on. I get it. I absolutely get it. But not Ethereum. Ethereum, Solana. I mean, you could probably make a nice list of what are not rug pull capable. And that letter, to Gary Gensler, I just don't understand it, other than they just don't want it. They just don't want change. Go take many a seat, please. Next up, Azure Wallet, Visa. I told you the other day that Mastercard has this new thing where you're going to be able, their Web3 platform, where you're going to be able to pay for things using crypto, not actually using crypto. That person on the other end is probably not getting crypto. And the same thing with Azure Wallet being integrated into Visa's startup program to also do the same thing. They're not getting that. There's no reason for Mastercard and Visa to be involved in any transaction with regard to crypto unless they are taking in crypto, translating into fiat, and then giving that vendor fiat. Stop there. Because if it was crypto to crypto, I don't need Mastercard, and I sure as heck don't need Visa. Just, what are you doing? This is to make it easier for people to leverage their, to actually use their crypto. But where's that crypto going? Yeah. So you use your crypto because what you're doing is you're reimbursing Mastercard and Visa for what they pay out in cash on this side. So they're just going to use that to collect crypto. Yeah. That's how I think that works. Somebody tell me something different, please. If you know more than I do, please let me know. I have no problem with that. I have no problem learning. I love to learn. But as far as I know about how that technology works, that pretty much sums it up. Then Bybit is having a problem in Hong Kong because Hong Kong is saying that Bybit is a suspicious organization because they're having so much trouble with their application, for registration. I'm just going, wow. Countries just do what they do. Don't forget, Hong Kong is owned by China. Hong Kong is China. They run it differently right now, but it is China. Just saying. But you know what we should do? We should get into numbers. Before we get into numbers, I wanted to call out a couple of people that had a couple of suggestions for me. Somebody got on me. Dwayne, give me a moment. I'm sorry, Dwayne. Let's see. Dwayne Diesel, I think is what it is. It's really tiny on my phone. But Dwayne Diesel had gotten on me. He says, "Don't hate on Elon." I don't know that it's a point of not hating on Elon, right? It really is a matter of, tell me why I should like Elon. Tell me what Elon has done that I should like Elon. I don't like how he's manipulated Doge these past few years. So talk to me. Give me an example. I mean, I hear you. I'm not trying to belittle you. I'm trying to have a conversation. Tell me why I shouldn't hate on Elon. Better, because I don't hate on Elon. I just don't trust him. I don't like him as a person. Tell me why I should like Elon. Tell me why I shouldn't hate on some of the things that he does. Because I just don't like him as a person. And he lies a lot. To me, I think he lies a lot. Tesla didn't invent anything. They redid Toyota's technology, and they're acting like, oh, we did this. You didn't. Go look it up. That's actually facts. That's why Tesla's going down so much. Yeah. And another person said, and this was actually a pretty good suggestion. I mean, I'm probably not going to change. They said, well, you're a little verbose. Yes, because I'm trying to have a conversation. So I'm basically listening to myself talk. But people reach out to me and they tell me and we're actually literally having conversations. So yeah, it happens. They also told me to put a date stamp on everything. You can check the date stamp by going to the website. That's where all the articles are. The articles go on the website before I shoot my video every morning. And pretty soon we're going to add permissions to the site, and that's going to be a special permission for a certain level of users. I drop these articles. So when I talk about 8 different points, you know that I have 8 different articles on the website. And on the videos are timestamps. They're timestamped by the platform that they're on. So if you're on Instagram or YouTube, they're timestamped there. Pretty soon, there'll be a television show on Roku, and you'll actually be able to see it there, and you'll see the date that it was published. So I'm kind of happy about that. But let's get into the numbers. There's actually a lot going on there, and I'd like to get into it. Let me ditch my notes. Somebody else asked me about my spreadsheet. Look at this spreadsheet. I built this Excel workbook a while ago so I could actually, because I was going to do the whole dollar cost averaging thing for you guys, where I was going to have you watch me do dollar cost averaging over a period of time. So I had created a fake portfolio to actually track. And then I said, I want something to help me track that portfolio. So here's where, first let's go with these numbers. I mean, you can see everybody that's down. Myro's down. I mean, everybody's down double digits. Big time. Who's up? Nobody. Because as soon as you get down to the bottom of the list, you're hitting a whole bunch of zeros and a lot of negative ones. So if I was to drop that below, you'd see that everybody's on the losing side. Everybody's taking a hit today. I don't care what coin you're on. But what I was doing with this one was you'd be able to see your purchases. You'd be able to track your purchases over time, right? And see what exchange you used, what wallet you're using, what kind of transaction it was, all the way across the board. And then, I had news coming in, things like that. I have different charts that I use. I have my winners and losers that you guys see just about every day. And it all fed up into a dashboard. And this was my DCA dashboard, where you could actually see profit and loss for everything that's going on. That's what I'm talking about. So this is the tool. So I have one of these for you guys to be able to see, and then I have another one someplace else that I actually obviously use for me, because I don't want to track my transactions online. I want to track them myself. Why should I give that to somebody else? Why should I give that data to somebody else? I just released an article the other day I gave a talk about it, about Lexus Nexus having so much information. And somebody was like, what about Google? What about Amazon? And I'm like, no, what about the company that has all of the Google information, all of the Amazon information, all of your insurance information, everything that you've done, been arrested, got a ticket, whatever it was, all of it. They have all of it. That's Lexus Nexus. Anyway, that's what I was talking about. So this is the workbook that I use when I'm, a workbook like this that I use when I'm tracking my own stuff. I love it. Actually, it's like mad helpful. It's mad helpful. And I can adjust these. Instead of being the top 25, I can say, just give me the information on the stocks that I want, which pretty much is it. So that's what I do. All right. Well, that's what I built. So it's kind of cool. So like I said, you get the charts and everything. You can see, how all this is going and everything. Not bad. Obviously, I haven't updated this in a while, but this is how it would work. Again, kind of cool. I kind of like it. Fear and greed index is at 83. Yesterday was at 88. You can expect that it would go down. We dropped about $8 billion down from 132 down to 124 billion, right? A little bit less than 8 billion, but that's pretty much where we are right now. You can see the little dip all the way over here. When you start to look at Bitcoin, I started drawing these lines over here so you can kind of see what kind of tracks you're on. And even this one over here, this one connects from there to there, and you can see we dip below. Now, is that going to form a V and start coming back up? Don't know yet. I thought it would have happened right here. When it hit here, it would have bounced back up, but it didn't. It hit a V. It did hit this V, but I think we're hitting another V, and we could have a little bit ways down. Like I'd probably say right about here, another 66.5 and change before it starts to go back up. Unless this is the sign that, hey, that was the V, and that's when we're going to start going back up. But we'll see. But I started drawing these lines. You can see what, when I first drew, this line, it was based off of this and this. When I drew this line, it was based off of this and this, right? To kind of get that average. And you can see they taper a little bit, but very, very slightly. And then you have the line over here, which is this point and this point. I drew that yesterday. So I'm hoping that I don't have to draw another line. And then again, you can see where my blue band goes from 57,686 to 63, 714. you can start to realize that, okay, we're beyond that blue band territory, but where are we now? We're back between that territory between my blue band at 63,714 and my green line at 69,355. So when you go across right here, we were trading within that space for a while. We hit above, then we came down, then we hit above, then we came down, then we hit above, maintained a little bit. You see how we started going laterally a little bit, and then came down. We're still in a really good place, is what my point is. If you look at right between, again, that green band and this blue band, you can see that we're still in a really good place. So no more freaking out, because we could be all the way down here. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't think it's ever going to happen again. Like, I think 50 is the bottom. I think 50 is the new bottom. Remember when I told you, I started saying that we're never going to see 35 again? Yeah, we're far beyond that now. We might not see 50 again. Even with a huge correction. If you looked at the last correction, you look at the next crypto winter, we might not even see it then. That's huge. That's huger than huge. All right, now let's look at the big board. Like I said, everybody's in the red. Dog with hat is deep red. It's actually the only one that's in deep red, so you should be paying attention to that. Again, I kept telling you guys, it's about the swing. It's about the swing. Meme coins swing heavy. They swing heavy. You can make big money. You could lose big money. Again, $650 million was liquidated yesterday. Just saying. Pay attention. Pay attention. See, there we are. 67,123, 9.95. Everybody took a dip. Ethereum's down at 36 when it was above 4,000. Everybody's taking big hits. But still, look at that year to date. You're still up at 58, 59 for Bitcoin and Ethereum. BNB still up 83%. Solana still up 65%. You heard me right. These are the numbers that we're looking at right now, right? So I'm just looking at Shiba Inu to see where we are. You're at 27.97, still up. Remember, there was an extra zero right here, right there. Instead of 27, it was at 7.97. We went up a lot, so we should be paying attention to those swings. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I know it was a long show today, but I really wanted to get into what affected the day from a broad perspective. Don't forget that all the articles are up on the website before I even shoot these videos. So there you go. There's more to come this weekend, and I hope you have a good one. If you have ideas for me about how I can make it better, just like other people have told me, I greatly appreciate it. I really do. And I will talk about it. I will address it. I have no issues with that, because I feel that we're just having a conversation, and you have a view and I have a view. And now I'm asking Dwayne, help me out. Tell me why I shouldn't hate on Elon. I'm not hating on him. I just don't like the guy. I don't like how he manipulates. I don't like how he lies. But if you've got other ideas, tell me, share them with me. Let's have that conversation. Let's have that dialogue. And for all of you guys who don't think, I try to respond to everybody, but it's hard responding to everybody across multiple platforms, which is why I keep asking you guys, go over to Grow My Bag, join up over there, because then we can actually have real deal conversations, because it's a real social media platform. It's about that two-way street. All right. Anyway, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.